Welcome back to Force Education, this is Ed. Today we're going to give a quick update on SoFi. Now I do understand I made a video not long time ago, but this video here will basically explain their 2020 guidance and how they've actually met it or got close to it, and what we can anticipate for the 2021 guidance. So we're basically talking about the 10K form, which will be fundamental to updating a lot of the fundamentals. That's fundamentals twice. Things like profitability, that's based on TTM, which is a yearly metric. So all that will improve significantly, will give us also management effectiveness numbers, and price over sales will be a lot better than what we see here, making this one almost overnight undervalued if we do actually get a 10K that meets guidance or at least beats it. So that is something to kind of keep an eye on. SoFi, if you haven't heard about SoFi, their mission is to help people in terms of gaining financial independence and realize their ambitions. Their financial independence doesn't mean rich, blah, blah, blah. They have different products that they do have. There's actually a long list going from loans, investing, insurance, money, just in general, credit cards, business solutions, and insight. Now, quickly going on towards 2020 guidance. So 2020 guidance previously was around 621,000 in adjusted net revenue, and their adjusted EBITDA was around 66 million. So my bad, 621, this is in thousands, that makes it a million, and 66 million in loss in adjusted EBITDA. Their actual was actually a bit better than their forecasted at 621.207 million, and their adjusted EBITDA was beat up actually by around 20 million, or 22 million to be specific. You went from 66 million in terms of loss to adjusted EBITDA of 44.6 million loss. Now, you get to see that these numbers are still reflected around here. Now they just put it in millions rather than thousands. That's why it looks a little bit different. And their current revised guidance for high and low, you're taking a look somewhere between around $1 billion. So that is very much within reach. And you might anticipate that this company will reach that based on their historical last year guidance and how they got close to it. Or they actually beat the guidance, to be specific. And in terms of adjusted EBITDA, it's expected to be positive between 28 and 31 million. Given their history, I do anticipate they might even beat this one here, or at least be on the higher end of the adjusted EBITDA. So how will that impact the company? Well, first off, your price over sales will improve quite a lot and will be somewhat underneath the SP 500, which basically makes it a highly valued or highly undervalued stock. And so you might expect a rally onto then. The operating margins that are negative, because this company had previously EBITDA of negative values and a net profit margin of negative percentage. So you're going to expect these to go positive because your 2021 anticipated guidance will give positive numbers for these. So that will be a fundamental change for this company for people who are just looking at fundamentals and scanning through. A lot of these fundamentals of profitability is in TTM, and that will improve significantly. Institutional buyers, we do have one on the 14th, or actually a few transactions that happened on the 14th. Strata Wealth Partners added around almost 30,000 shares. Magnetar Financial LLC added around 57,000 shares. And you do have crumbs here and there where they're either liquidating around a couple of thousand shares or adding a couple of thousand shares. On the 13th as well, you see around more companies adding, so Stockyards Bank adding around 22.5 thousand shares, and Point Break Capital adding around 30,540 shares. On the 12th, DNB assets 53,428. So what you're seeing here is that there are bigger chunks being added. First American on the 11th, 199,000. So this company here, even though it's dropping, a lot of institutions are still picking this up, and that might signify something about this one here. They're looking at the historical price action and saying, hey, we think that this might actually be worth a bit more than what people are giving it to. Now, before moving on towards technical analysis, if you'd like to see more content like this, make sure to click the subscribe button and leave notification buttons on. Don't forget to drop a like, and let's move on quickly for an update on technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis perspective, we're not seeing any direction where this stock is massively pushing towards, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, there is a bit of a kind of a downtrend that we're seeing, and we did talk about before, but in terms of the current momentums of this downtrend, you're seeing the stock to be in willing percent R to be highly oversold. This is very similar to what the RSI would give you, the relative strength index. And it suggests that if we do get good news from the 10K, this one has a really strong chance to spring upwards. In the MACD, it's kind of set up for a bullish reversal. It's currently very close to the zero. Nothing really significant happening here. The momentum is around -127, just below the zero. Nothing really crazy happening around here as well. Now on the 80X is 2553. There's not, again, anything that is happening that is significant onto this one. But stochastic fast and stochastic slow are kind of sliding a bit downwards, suggesting you might actually see closer, probably lower levels. Might be around $10-12, but you're seeing every time it dips, it kind of jumps backwards. So there is a buying resistance there, or a buying support to be specific. Moving average bands are actually between 1598 and around 1308. The current price is below there, and it's closer more to the Bollinger Bands around 1284. Currently it's at 1320, so it's within the Bollinger Bands and within the moving average bands. On Fibonacci retracements, you're able to see the support is at 1266. Meanwhile, the resistances are 1556, 1736, 1880, 2025, 2232, and 2495. In terms of price line actions, we're able to see a significant resistance at 1328, 1401, 1445, 1548, going to 1612, 1698, 1781, 1898, around 2014, 2089 jumps a little bit higher to 2213, 2316, and 2413. Now I don't have the analyst recommendations right now, but I do remember they were actually bullish for this stock, that they do anticipate this stock to at least trade higher, definitely higher than what it is right now. Now we do have just basic kind of understanding of what's happening here. While the stock isn't having much news coming in around, you're able to see that it did have a downtrend. This kind of broke up from the downtrend, and then again you're kind of having a slump right here. Now nonetheless, with this slump, you might anticipate that the stock will trade a little bit lower, but without news, that might be true. But with news coming up with 10K form, that might not be necessarily true. But the question is, when is the 10K form coming out? Based on a historical kind of perspective, they usually are around a month and a half late from the end of the quarter in order to submit the 10K form. Now, it's not really late, that's the schedule they go for. So I anticipate that their 10K form, which will basically show both the Q4 and the full year, and will change a lot of these fundamentals, will perhaps happen somewhere closer to around end of February, if I'm correct. Now, that's based on speculation on when it's going to come. So you still have around an entire month of it kind of sliding downwards into a channel similar to this one here. And so it's not really necessarily a good position to be in. So if you want to buy, let's say wait a little. But currently I would kind of give it a hold position, not really a sell position, just because this stock still has improved quite a lot since last year. Now, I understand the stock market is not the same, but whatever got her to around 24.95, you get to see that it kind of jumped back upwards, and it's almost looking like a cup formation overall. Now, nonetheless, taking a look into, let's say, quickly, just an hourly perspective, you're able to see that almost every time it drops, it does bounce a little bit backwards and has a lot of buying support, meaning a lot of people are just waiting to buy and pull the trigger. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.